Welcome to Sheena Says, a podcast about wellness, parenting, and real stories.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Sheena Says. I am super excited today to be talking about a subject that's super close to my heart. I have always been a huge parenting fan, and positive parenting is something I'm a big proponent of. Now, parenting is look, we they don't come with manuals, okay? So we are all like driving in the blind here, and parenting without a map can be super overwhelming. It can be, full of all kinds of mix of emotions, and definitely fear is one of them. You're afraid because you want to do the right thing, but sometimes there's so many mixed signals in today's society. There's no knowing what the right thing might be. So if you've ever thought, am I doing this right? You're not alone. Parenting can be a super overwhelming process, whether you have one kid or you have three. It is definitely full of navigation at every turn. And in today's times, everything is so fast paced. Not only are the kids evolving, the technology evolving, but you're evolving too. So whatever was applicable maybe 5 years doesn't matter anymore. And it's changed. The game is changing so super fast. So are you keeping up with it? Are you a good parent? Are you doing the right thing? Yes, those are all very important questions. And the challenging of parenting without a map is definitely overwhelming. The rules keep changing. And, what worked at 5 no longer works at 15. So, do you stop the hugs? Do you continue with them? What about the eye rolls? What about the slam doors? I hate you. Why won't you let me do this? Oh my God. All of it very valid. So I am super excited to dig into this and kind of walk us through the myths, the stereotypes, and what you can do to help yourself. That's the whole goal, right? Is to get it right. Nobody's perfect. You're not perfect. Your child is not perfect, but it has to be perfect between the two of you. So let's explore the stereotypes in this particular episode and maybe bust some myths and give you some tools. Now, the parenting styles, there are four different distinct styles of parenting. Now, let's get into it. What are the styles? What are the stereotypical styles? Shining a flashlight on the first one is the authoritarian, the strict parent. It's all about rules, it's all about control. It's all about because I said so, that's why. Now, in this environment, the kids learn to comply, but they will comply out of fear. It's not respect. And later that gets bottled up into frustration and can either turn into rebellion or distance. So you're not really close to your kids. They do what you ask them to do because they're afraid of you. Pretty much that's the summary of this particular style of parenting. Personally, not a huge fan. Now, the permissive parent, that is the anything goes parent. In this case, you're warm, you're loving, you avoid conflict, and you want to be their friend. So you're not establishing authority so much, and your kids will feel loved, but they will also struggle with boundaries and responsibilities because there aren't any real clear guardrails that you've set for them. Um, and then the third kind is the neglectful, the unavailable parent. Now, that in today's times is actually a lot more common for several reasons: time constraints, work and duty calls. And it doesn't always mean intentional neglect. It's mostly exhaustion, overwork, distraction, and being pulled in so many different directions that you aren't really present for your kid. Now, that also results in often the children feeling unsupported or unseen, and it often results in them seeking validation somewhere else. And that can be risky depending on where they choose to seek their validation. Now, the fourth kind, and this is my personal favorite, is authoritative. It's not authoritarian, mind you, it's authoritative, which is the balanced parent. That means that's the sweet spot. Authoritative parenting means it's a blend of warmth and structure. The rules are very clear and they are explained very logically, but so are the consequences. And they are, however, the consequences are remitted with respect and positively. So you're creating a safe space for the child. They can have their freedom within a certain amount of boundaries. And that is what I call positive parenting, where you are not just dumping on them, you are giving them clear freedom with clear boundaries, saying, okay, you can go out, but you need to be back in an hour. Something to that effect. You can have your phone, but there will be screen time established for it. So we'll get into what boundaries you can establish, what boundaries at what age are right, how much to pressure them, what consequences are appropriate, and we will navigate all of those issues together. Now, at every age, at every stage, things are definitely changing. So let's start with what we can do with our teenagers. I will backtrack from the teenagers, because I have one and I feel super blessed, super proud to have a very strong relationship, a very warm relationship, and most importantly, a very respectful relationship with my daughter. My daughter is Naya. I'm a super proud mom. I cannot tell you, I cannot talk about her enough. I can go on and on. I can actually make a whole episode about her. I might. But today we are talking about teenagers. Now, our teens, when they enter teenage, their hormones shift. And that's the reason you see the change in behavior. They not only are the hormones shifting, also they are trying to come into their own identities. They are pushing back at the boundaries that you have created so far for them. Now, mind you, those boundaries were created to keep them safe, but now you are raising an adult. And most parents here forget that once the child enters their 12, 13-year-old self, they are pre-tweens at that point, but they're now entering, they're preparing for adult life. They have less than 7 or 8 years to prepare them to learn how to act as functioning adults. It can be super overwhelming, it can be super confusing, and with the amount of exposure they have today, it's hard to navigate what's right, what's wrong, who's right, who's wrong, and where they stand with everything. So take it easy with your teenager. Understand that you're raising an adult who hasn't become an adult yet. So you got to give them the guardrails. Your job as a parent is really to support them into becoming that adult. Your job isn't to compete with them. It isn't to tell them you know best. After all, you're living history. At some point, you're going to go and they're going to take over the world. So our job as parents is really to respect their space, respect their distance, and still provide them the tools to be able to navigate and survive a very complicated world out there. So if we just take a minute, bite our tongue, stop judging them, competing with them, or disciplining them, and feeling like we know better and our generation did it right and their generation does not know what they're doing, let's get off our high horses. Let's stand on the same ground for a second. Let's listen to them. Your teen isn't perfect, but neither are you. So why don't you start with nurturing, start with listening, start with being present for them? After you have done that, they've said their piece, understand where they're coming from. What happened in their day? Did a teacher yell at them? Did one of their friends diss them? Did they fall somewhere? Did they feel scared somewhere? Did something bad happen in their day? My favorite time with my daughter has been tea time. And that's tea time is me time, where we sit down after she comes home from school and we take out our teas. We will sit down and we discuss her high lows and then my high lows. We talk about her achievements and failures in the day. And then I'll talk about my achievements and failures in the day. It's okay. It's okay to share. It's very important to communicate. It's very important for them to understand that you're not perfect either. Your day isn't perfect either, and neither is theirs. So if you bring it to the table, it kind of sits there. You both gain some sort of understanding from each other's day. And I'm a big fan of tea time, me time. So, by all means, if that's something you can practice, go ahead and bring that to the table and let it sit. If you have more than one child, then you, depending on their ages, if they're closer in age, by all means, you can do tea time with both at the same time. And if you feel the age gap is too much, then do it separately. It will allow you to understand their world, which, believe me, is very, very different from what your world looks like. So learn to step into their shoes before you start judging, criticizing, censoring them as to what they're doing, how they're behaving, or why they feel a certain way or look a certain way. Try to hold the judgment back. Keep a poker face, keep your game face on, smile politely, even if you are disagreeing with what they are doing or saying in the moment. Don't express it then and there. Don't be so reactive. You are the adult. Please practice emotional self regulation. That is key to be gaining a perspective into their world and then understanding where they're coming from, so that if you know where they're coming from, you will be able to help them correct it. If you don't know where they're coming from, how are you going to correct it? You can't fix something you don't know is broken. So it's very important for you to gain insight into their world. And that's how I have done it. I have used tea time, me time as our tool to get into her world, what friends she's seeing, who she's talking to, what is happening, what the friend is doing, and kind of get to know her world a lot better so that I can help her navigate it. That's just one of the tools. The other thing that you have to understand, ladies, is that if you have a daughter, definitely her period is coming. That's nature's way of saying that she can conceive now. She's almost an adult. Of course, that doesn't mean true for this society. I'm not saying she's an adult yet, but that's the message the hormones are sending to her brain. So you will feel a strong pushback at that time from them. My advice: step back. Take a step back. Let the dads do the heavy lifting this time. The girls are looking for validation. The girls are looking for their identity. And if you want that guy to be their father, then let them be there for them. Let them give them the compliment. It doesn't have to be very sincere, but try to make it as sincere as possible, of course. But let them take the lead. You don't have to be judging them or criticizing them or screaming at them first thing in the morning when they're getting ready for school. The child is 12 or 13. They can make their own meal. They can get their own breakfast or their own lunch. Tell them to prep ahead of time and step away from any areas of friction. So, what I did personally is that I stopped getting up in the morning. I used to be the first one up, make her breakfast, make her milk ready or tea ready, and pack her lunch and walk her to the school, or the bus stop, I should say. But then when that time came, I realized that my presence is actually causing her to feel more overwhelmed in the morning and more reactive. And I decided, I told her, you know what, Naya, you're a big girl now. You will make your own food. And if you go hungry in the morning, that's okay. Eat in school. It literally improved our relationship, I would say, within a couple of weeks, because she felt respected, she felt restored, she felt I'd given her space, and I didn't step on her. First thing, I don't want my child going out the door in tears. I don't want to be screaming at them if they're being late. If she's late or if she misses the bus, that's on her. It's not on me anymore. She has to take responsibility. Now you're asking me, hey, that's great. You have only one daughter. What if I have three kids? I do have to make that effort. Yes, you do. But you can do it nicely and let the older child help with the younger ones. Don't keep correcting them. Don't scream at them for being early or late. So I'm just giving you a few tools here today to help you navigate what is a definitely very complex situation. Now you're asking me, what about boys? Same thing. If they are old enough and they're giving you some pushback, moms take the lead, dads step back a little bit. The boys are finding their identity. They are looking to push their boundaries. Keep a very keen eye on who their friends are and don't dump on them. Listen, please. The more you listen and observe, the better you will position yourself to be able to create the guardrails that your teen needs to feel safe and successful in their own particular environment. Don't try to parent them with how you were parented. It doesn't work. It's like trying to repot something in a different soil. Your teen is here today, and the rules have to be today's rules, not 20, 30, 40 year ago's rules. Those don't apply anymore. Maybe some do, but not all of them. And you have to be conscious of that fact. So here is my takeaway. Please be positive parents. Do parenting right. Okay. Your positive parenting means you stay present, patient, and positive. Parenting isn't about perfection, it's about connection. And that's where most people don't get it right. Stay connected, good, bad, ugly, indifferent. Stay connected to your kids. Be on the same page as them. Learn to be on that page before you can help them navigate further. I'm not saying they don't need discipline. And I'm not saying that they don't need navigation or tools. They definitely do. Every single one of them does. They're not adults yet. And we are their guardians until they become adults. And that is why our job is super complicated, super rewarding, and super important. So, for every parent out there, I say give yourself a pat on the back and stay present for your kids, stay positive, and please keep being patient. So, I say, Sheena says, do parenting right. I'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for listening to Sheena Says, and for more info, please visit yourhomeopathy.com.